I need to implement my header and CPP file to communicate with HTTP server, to start and stop it. I am creating a simple web server class to wrap all the logic related to the actual HTTP server. I will define a few methods, constructor and destructor, which will be empty for now. Those three methods will start and stop the server. The final method will add the get and post routes to the server. I am deleting all the example code. From this point on, I will be testing my actual library. The way I will use it in the Unreal Engine plugin. I will create a server class instance. Add default routes to it. Start it on port 8080. And then stop it. Between start and stop, I will use a client code from examples to send requests to my server. I will send get request to the root endpoint, or /. I will also have some query parameters attached to show you how those can be parsed and used. This cmd equals foo. I will also send post request to root endpoint, or /. I will use this payload. The endpoints will be implemented in the add default routes method. I will also make any root be available, so I can send requests to any string after /, not just to / itself. I need an instance of the actual HTTP server in my class. I will add includes and define HTTP server field. I will be starting and stopping this HTTP server field. Also, I need methods to create this server instance and to destroy it when I'm done with it. I will be implementing all the header methods in my CPP file. I will be copy-pasting the same code from the examples I used to test this server earlier. I am creating empty definitions for all the methods. Create instance and destroy instance methods are very easy to start with. This error tells me the server field needs to be a pointer. This code will start the server. For this error, I figured a workaround by defining a reference to the server and using it inside of the server thread. As I do not know a better solution yet, how to pass instance field into a thread. I am using Google for most of the errors here. I need another include. Stop method is very simple. This post method will reply to a user with 200 OK response. A reply will also send back the current time, so I can see some message and be sure this is not stale. Get method is a bit more complicated. This regular expression will match anything after the slash, meaning I can get in post to any root, which will be caught by this get and port lambdas. Both lambdas will reply with current time. I am also storing all the query parameters into local map variable, which I will use later. This map will have cmd equals foo and so on. I will implement the current time method. I found sample source in Stack Overflow. On error, it will not be used, but I'd rather have it for the future. Finally, I am adding calls to create and destroy methods for my test. And it should be complete. I could also add the destroy method to the class destructor, but for some reason when this destructor is called by Unreal Engine, it crashes. Probably because I did not set the server field to null, but it is too late now, the whole video is already recorded. I will still be deleting the server pointer in the destroy method. The build failed. The test application cannot see library methods because I forgot to expose the methods. I am not sure if constructor and destructor need to have import and export directives, it will work regardless. But I will still add the directives, just in case. The solution is built. I will run the test application to see if it works. The test did not work as expected, it actually crashed. After some try and error, I found the start server method was causing the issue. The server thread does not work from within the method, it is probably created as a local variable which cannot leave the method boundaries. This is my guess. I extracted the server thread into my class fields. I did a bit of refactoring to the start method. I am assigning the created thread to my class field. Some refactoring to the header file, missing includes and I need to use std prefix. After all the refactoring, the application runs without issues. Server started, get and post work, server stopped. Hit enter to terminate. It may take couple of seconds, but the window will eventually disappear. Don't kill it. For the finishing touch, to avoid any name clashes with other libraries or Unreal Engine classes which may also use the same names, I will be adding a namespace for my simple web server class, wrapping all my classes into it. This namespace needs to be used when I want to create this class and it will eliminate name clashing. I name it SWS. In CPP, I also need to prefix every method with this namespace. But I'd rather use the approach I'm already using for std namespace. In my test application, I need prefix my server instance with SWS. This is the only change. I also want to test all the different routes I can send requests to. I will be adding 2 more client get and post requests. This is to ensure that regular expressions in get and post will catch my every request. I am using /get and /post to send my requests to. Quick test. Everything works as expected. The libraries are ready to be copied into my plugin. I will minimize some windows and I will delete the boost zip. Every time after the libraries were built, I need to copy its files into 3 places inside of my Unreal Engine plugin. SWS header file goes into the include folder. DLL and lib files from the release folder go into Win64 folder. If you don't have the release folder, make sure you built it for the release target. Finally, DLL needs to be copied into the plugin root binaries Win64 folder. This will update the plugin for the latest libraries. I will try to start the Unreal Engine project by clicking on the project file. It failed because I do not have the pretty print method from the old library. I was using this method in my Unreal project. This is followed by another message. I am in the project IDE to fix all the errors, and then it should build and open. I will remove the pretty print method and all its usages, it's no longer available. Then I will add the web server methods, the way I did it in my test application. I deleted every occurrence of the pretty print method. I will try to make Unreal Engine to compile the project by deleting its binaries folder. But it failed. I will be building it from IDE. Apparently there are more errors present in the source. In my SWS header I have an include for HTTP server. Since it's in my header, I also need this file in the plugin include folder. I will copy it over, maybe it will work. This new header, it also includes boost headers, but I cannot copy those over because then I will end up with all the boost headers in my include folder. Most of the boost files depend on other boost files. The proper way, my library header SWS, should not include external headers, it may only include standard headers, which already known to Unreal Engine.